So, guys, today I'm going to talk about the ending or my personal take on the ending of Game of Thrones. Now, Game of Thrones, actually, I got into it. I started watching in grade 11, watched 2 episodes. I'm like, this is boring. Then in grade 12, when it was like graduation time and I had senioritis and I didn't feel like going to school, I just really got into Game of Thrones and started watching it again. And then I got to Hardhome and I graduated. So I got into Game of Thrones around season 5, so like year 5. And since then I was hooked. I loved it. And then I saw season 7 2 years ago, and then they're like, you have to wait 2 years, 2019, to see the final season of Game of Thrones. It's only gonna be 6 episodes, and I was, gosh, that 2 year wait was ridiculous. And then we got season 8. And let me just say, one, I loved episode 1. I loved the camaraderie, how they tried to bring all the characters together. I really liked that. It was a good setup scene. Episode 2, meh. Episode 3, the Battle of Winterfell, was amazing. And I think that's where the problem lies. Where Game of Thrones has been, from the beginning, this kind of shock value show. A lot of things they do is ridiculous. They build up characters, get them killed. There's all the Red Wedding, the Purple Wedding, the Battle of the Bastards. All these crazy things happen in the show. And, I guess after the books ended and everyone just started throwing out fan theories and everything, the show became more predictable. It was not as shocking as it used to be. So I guess what they tried to do with season 8 is subvert everyone's expectations, is what I heard, and get something that they would never see coming. And let's be real here, the ending, episode 6, no one saw coming. And even episode 5, with the whole Dany burning down King's Landing, people said it came out of nowhere, but not really. You know what I mean? And let's be real here too. If you're on this conquest to try and fix what's broken in the world, and then your number one enemy, after the guy that brings back dead people, chops off your closest advisor's head, I would go a little crazy too, you know what I'm saying? But Dany burning down King's Landing, I don't think it was out of character for her, but that's just me. And then the ending, let me just say, personally, I don't really have an issue with the ending itself, because from the start, like, my favorite characters was Daenerys, Tyrion, Jon Snow, Arya. Not in that order. Daenerys was definitely first, and then Arya, and then Tyrion, and then everyone else kind of fell after. But pretty much all my favorite characters survived except for Daenerys. And the reason why Jon Snow killed her made sense. She wanted to break the wheel, but it kind of going off the whole Mad King thing where she has to do it her way and burning down cities, killing people to stop at nothing. Like, what Tyrion said really meant something when he said in her mind she's doing what's right, and when is a tyrant who's trying to do something that's right ever seen like the wrong in their ways, whatever. So Jon Snow killing Daenerys, that wasn't shocking to me. It made sense, I guess you could say. But the problem I had is how it got there. All the other seasons, even after like season 6, like season 5 is where basically the books ended. So then season 6 and 7 were kind of loosely based off George or R.R. Martin's direction, but they were written by, the writers and everything. So, and same with season 8. So I don't understand why there was so many things that were, prophesied and said and set up in all the other seasons, just for them kind of be thrown out. Jaime going back to Cersei, I can see that too, because he's in love with his sister, and even though she was doing wrong, I guess you could say, he felt that his need to go fight for the living was the right cause, and he's changed because of Brienne. Like, he was, like, he hated being called the Kingslayer and everything, and I said he had really good character development, but just the way how it went at the end, it was kind of like, what? And then Arya killing the Night King shocked me, because everyone thought it'd be Jon Snow. So I guess it was also nice that that was their way of, you know, subverting everyone's expectations by having Arya kill the Night King and not Jon. But then there's the plot hole of brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. Because, you know, to be honest, I thought the way that they were going to subvert our expectations was the green eyes was going to be Dany, not Cersei. That would have made perfect sense to me, because Dany, as we saw in episode 5, was going a little bit crazy and she burnt down King's Landing. So I thought at the end of episode 5, when she gets on the horse and gallops off, that was her way that she was going to sneak in behind the guards and stab her and kill her, you know? But it didn't go that way. So that was just confusing, because... And then someone said to me yesterday, like, oh, they were just emphasizing the blue eyes, but then don't fucking say the green eyes shit. Like, that doesn't make any sense. So that, and then I also feel like a lot of people are saying this too, then what was the whole point of Jon's true, like, reveal that he's the Targaryen? Other than the fact I could see that the Iron Throne was started by an Aegon Targaryen and his dragon, and then the show poetically ended it with an Aegon Targaryen and a dragon. But then, you know, why kill him? Why bring him back to life? Why do all this deep writing, you know, have Bran go back in the past, you know, kill, like, you know, mess up Hodor and all these things, just for him to be with the free folk, which you can also argue is what he always wanted. But still, you've set up things so well all the other seasons, and now this season you kind of just, like, up to episode 3, I felt they wrote it impeccably. Like, you know, the build up and everything was great. It was amazing. And then after that, they kind of fell off. Like episode 4, when they killed Rhaegar and everything, I guess, and kidnapped Missandei, it was just, you know, okay, I can get that, but then what does that have to do with everyone's character? Like, Euron, I never really liked the guy. And in terms of a villain, he was a horrible villain. All he had was ships, and that he wanted to poke the queen and put a king and everything. But we all knew that that wasn't going to happen. But just the way, like, it kind of felt like pointless. Like, every time, like, Euron to me was just another Dorne. Every time a Dorne scene came on, I just turned my brain off. I didn't really care what was going on. So for him to, I guess, stab up Jaime, but even then, Jaime didn't really die because of Euron. He died because of the rocks. And that's the problem I had too, is that every Lannister has had an ending befitting, or like a tragic death. Like, Tywin was killed by his son, who he hated the most and thought he was a stain in the family. You know, their mother was killed by Tyrion giving birth. Joffrey died at the Purple Wedding. He got poisoned to death. Marcella was poisoned by Dorne, by the Dorne people. Tommen killed himself after his mother killed Marcel? No, not Marcel. I forgot her name. Like, the people of Highgarden, the Tyrells. So, like, everyone else had a death befitting. And Cersei, first of all, they didn't make the Night King the final villain. They made Cersei the final villain. So I feel like it was kind of a cop-out for just... Sorry, I think I'm babysitting. I think my cousin's calling me. Not sure. But anyways. But it felt like Cersei just dying under rocks was kind of a cop-out. And they could have done so many things better with the last episode. Like, Jaime could have died and then Cersei could have survived, and then Arya could have killed her, or Dany could have killed her, and then, you know, they did so much writing and build up, and even the prophecy that all your children before you will die, and then you'll be choked out by the hands of the Valonqar. Like, it just, and then, but she died with rocks. So, like, what was the point? You know, everything else was written so beautifully before, and then at the end, it's kind of just like, never mind. And then, you know, and then Bran. I don't get it. I really don't. Like, I understand why they picked him, because he's a three-eyed raven, so he has the past, the future, he knows all the stories. Like, Tyrion's whole monologue made sense. But when Bran said, "Why do you think I'm here?" I literally screamed, "What?" Like, a couple episodes ago, or like last season, whatever, they're like, "You can be the Lord of Winterfell." And he's like, "I don't care about that." You know, they're fighting the Night King, the final battle between life and death, and this man's out here warging, looking at you know, ravens to see what's going on. But then after everything, you know, millions died. He's kind of just like, yeah, you know, I came all the way here just so I could be the new king. You know, the king that never dies, the king that knows everything. So I'm kind of just like, And what they were going with democracy, like, even though when Samwell brought it up, they all kind of made fun of him, it still made sense that this whole thing that is based on birth and, you know, claim to throne was wrong, because look at people like Joffrey, like, and that's how you bring about tyrants. So democracy is the right way to go. So that part is good. Like, they broke the wheel. And I like that at the end, that's kind of the way we go. Even though in modern society, you can see democracy ain't really working out for us either. But the thought is what counts. So picking Bran makes sense. But where was that? Everything, like, it just like a 180 flip. Like, he just said, "I didn't want anything. I don't care about anything. I'm just the keeper of stories." And then he's like, "Well, you know what? Now I'll rule all 7 kingdoms." And then Arya wanted to cross the seas, what's west of Westeros. First of all, where was that ever? Like, I knew, I guess after it was done, she wasn't just gonna sit home back at King's Landing or go marry Gendry and become the Lady of Stone, wherever the Baratheons are from. Yeah, but her sailing across the seas to travel the world, I wouldn't really say that, because, you know, all she ever wanted was this path of revenge. And then after the Hound, the boy, just said no, pick life or pick revenge, she picked life, and now she's gonna go travel across the world. Whatever. And Sansa, I think Sansa definitely got what she deserved. As a matter of fact, I thought Sansa was gonna be the one that's gonna be named Queen, because one, she was always supposed to be named Queen for Joffrey, and then after everything that she's been through, I think her character and how she's grown would have made an excellent queen, or the ruler of the 7 kingdoms. But, you know, Queen of the North is even better. Like, you know, the North pretty much got screwed over in everything after Robert Baratheon killed the Stark. You know, the Freys killed the brother Robb, who I actually liked. And then, you know, then the fight between the Starks and the Karstarks, and then the Boltons for who's the real king. Like, and then the final fight with the Night King was at Winterfell. So they kind of got the short end of the stick the entire series. So the fact that she names Queen and then their separate dominion, I like that. It was very well done. But all in all, the ending was just kind of what? Like, if they were gonna do, you know, 6 episodes and they made me wait 2 years, why the hell couldn't they write the story better? Why the hell couldn't they drop more clues? Why would they do it like that? So, but all the people that are petitioning, "Oh, rewrite the whole series, rewrite the whole way," I don't really go with that, because, you know, I think it's just what happens whenever you become a really popular show. For some reason, people just, you know, don't care about that. Oh, I wonder what she's watching that. She's thinking, "Oh my gosh." But, you know, a lot of good shows are good the first 3-4 seasons, whatever, and then by the end, it's just horrible. Like How I Met Your Mother and Breaking Bad, which I never watched. I'm watching How I Met Your Mother now. And I remember I watched the ending of How I Met Your Mother, like when it premiered all those years ago on TV. I didn't really get it. And now I'm like, whoops. And now I'm like, watching it and I kind of remember the ending, but not really, and I'm like, how the hell did they get here? And I hear the same thing about Dexter and Breaking Bad. Oh, Well, yeah, Amaris. Okay, I'm coming. Well, I guess I'm gonna end it here, or I might come back with closing thoughts. But yeah. But yeah, closing thoughts is that Game of Thrones is an amazing series. There will never be anything like it, or the next show like it isn't going to be like Game of Thrones, like, you know, Breaking Bad and then Game of Thrones. Like, they're two different genres. So whatever shockingly show or movie that changed the generation, we don't know. We don't know what's going to be like next. But thanks for watching. Hope you like, subscribe. I'll be coming out with a podcast, another video and vlog soon. So thanks for watching, guys, and tell me what you think. Bye.